So, like what we are trying to achieve right now is if the particular student did not found, so one thing like status should be not found, and we should get the message also like this student, student not found. So here message also should come, and this status code should also come as 404. So we have got the status correct now, but now we have to like work on the writing the message here also, like student details not found. So for doing that, we are getting this exception here. We have to collect from this exception that message. So let me hit the again request. So if you'll see in this exception, we are getting that message. Here we are getting that roll number not found message, but that message is not printing. So for printing that message, we need to write here e dot get message, comma, whatever was there already. So what it is saying, remove argument to match this. Okay. So one is like if you have to print to the console, we can write the system dot out here. We can get that message in console, but we have to return to the postman. One thing is there, like if the student data is not found, this response entity will not be there. So what I will do, I will create one response entity object. So we have to see like what change we'll make so that it will print the message. That is the one thing. Status code already we have returned, but along with that we have to return the message also. So they are throwing the response status. Okay, this way. If we try these things, like string we cannot take. Okay. Okay, I will check this. I think it is taking time. So one problem here, like we are not getting the proper message, but at least we are able to change this status. Now, what is the next thing we are checking on is, so this first part status code we have achieved, message we have not achieved. So message part I will check. Then in the case of the delete, in case of delete, for delete by student, if there is no record table, it should delete. It should not delete basically. So if you want this functionality to be implemented, then first we have to check the record, like if the record is in the table or not. If it is not in the table, then okay. So what I mean to say is, if you go for the delete call in this, let me remove rest of the code from here. So we are saying, like if the student record is not present, this roll number record is not present, then we have to not delete it. So first we have to check like this record is present or not. For that we have to do the get call. And in the get call, if the record is not present, then we have to not perform the delete. So if you'll go to this service implementation, we are calling like dot delete by id. And if you see this method name, it is saying like delete the entity with the given id. If entity is not found in the persistent store, it is silently ignore. So if you see this message, what it is showing, like if that record is not found, then it will ignore, and if the record is there, then it will delete. So this is the delete functionality. id must not be null. And one, okay, in case the given id is null, it will give the illegal argument exception. So this is a functionality of delete, but our requirement is if the record is not there, then only So what we have to do, if dot get dot find by id, we have to do first find by id, and roll number I will take. So whatever we are doing here, basically same thing we have to do here also. First it will check. First it will check this part. If it is working fine, then it will go for this. So I'll take it as here as. Hmm. First, it will find that student, and if the student is present, then only it will go for delete. If the student is not present, then it will show like roll number not found. So this logic we can implement, but all the logical parts should be implemented in our service layer. And here we are writing in service layer only. Okay, so that's fine then. Now we will try to hit the request and we will see like what is happening. Before that, we have to do one more change. Like here also, we have to write this into the try catch block. Surround it, try catch block. And this exception part, we have to again return the same thing related to get call, like not found. If the record is not there, then we have to return the response entity as not found. This is the exception part only. And if the record is deleted successfully, so here it is accepting as a string. So here we can write the message. Okay. Now we will try to delete the record which is not present. So I'll go to the postman. I will do the delete student by roll number. Here also I will take the roll number as 4, which is not present, and we'll hit the request. We can see still it is showing as deleted student successfully. So it means it is still not working. We'll debug this. It is coming here. So it is not going to the exception part. That is the problem. So I'll put the check here also again. So now in the service layer, what is happening? So I'll check it like record is found or not. That is the first thing. Control Shift I. We can see like record is not found. It's the value is null. So it should throw the exception from here. And we can see like student If I'll check this part, student cannot be resolved to a variable. Okay. So what it is doing from here? So one problem is like student cannot be resolved to the variable dot delete by id. So what it is doing after that? It is showing the correct message. If I comment this, so now we can see like if the student detail is not present, we are getting the 404 not found, and message here also like student detail not found. So for delete call, if the student detail is not found, we are getting this message. Now I will try with the student roll number which is present. So student roll number, if we'll say do the 3, or we can check also first from the get call. If I'll do the get call, we can see like a student with the roll number 3 and name as Prabhat, it is present. So I will delete this third student with roll number 3 I want to delete. So let's go ahead and delete it. So now in this case, we are getting like a student deleted successfully. Same thing we can check in the database also. Student with a Prabhat name is deleted. And if I call the get all student, this is also deleted. So if we have to like not delete the record which is not present, for that case, one new requirement will be like in DAO layer. In service layer, we have to first get that student, and if that student is not present, then it will throw our exception. And if the student is present, then only it will delete the record. So delete call will first do the find by ID. And once the record is present, then only it will delete. So two calls, two database will call will happen in that case. So if you don't want that two database call, in that case only call the like DAO delete by ID. If we first want to check that and show the proper message, if the record is not present, then we have to make the two database calls. So delete is working fine as expected. Now the third thing is, so I'll just delete if there is commented code to avoid the confusion. So, and we do not need to store this variable also. So I'll just remove the commented code. Now in controller, we are having anything? No commented code. Okay. So delete is working fine. So for first thing, like get by first issue, status code was resolved. Not getting, not found. Message in response. That I will check this second part of this. And delete is now we are achieved. We have like resolved this issue. We have resolved it. Third is like for update call. For update call also, if there is no student present on that particular ID or roll number, then it should not update it. So this is the update call now. So For update call, I will go for, if you check as of now, we'll check the roll number 4. So it is saying like student record updated successfully. But if you will check in the database, there is no record with roll number 4. Only roll number 1 and roll number 2 are present. So this message is incorrect. Now we'll try to resolve this issue. So for update call, we are using the endpoint as update student with roll number. So I'll go to that endpoint in the controller. Here we can see. So again, we will debug this problem like where we can make the code change. So first thing is it is calling the update student method. Now in update student, it is directly calling the DAO update student. So if first we want to check like that student is present or not, we have to just call this same thing like with delete. Like if we first find that, if the exception is thrown from there itself, then it will not go ahead and update it. So same thing, like we have to make in controller also change. I will just like put it here in try catch, surround with uh, surround with try catch. And in exception message, we have to print similar to this delete. So I'll save this and simply run the application. It should work. So I will hit this request student roll number 4, which is not present. So still we are seeing like student updated successfully, but it should not happen. It means our functionality is not working. Okay, let me retry. So somewhere our code is not working fine. We'll recheck that. So I'll hit this request again. So it will go to this student details are coming, and then 1 second. So this student roll number is coming as 0. Okay. Class name is coming as 1. So here update request body is not correct itself. Let it correct it. So student roll number. First I will correct the request body so that 4 should go from here. Okay, roll number is going from URL itself. Okay, then it is fine. Roll number is going from URL. So roll number is correct and student details are like coming as this student roll number as null because we are not passing this. I will do the F6. So it is coming directly up to the here exception. So it is not going to the exception section. It means this part is not running. So some problem is there in service layer. We'll go to the service layer. I'll hit debug. We'll try to debug here. So our debugger is not coming here also in the service layer itself. Directly it is going to, it means there is some problem in happening in our DAO layer. That's why it's not coming back to the service layer. So we'll go to the DAO layer. Okay, let's see. So DAO layer debugger, I'm not able to put it. So where the problem is happening. So our debugger is not coming at find by ID, it is directly coming here. It means this line of code is not working. So here we are getting like 0 rows updated. In the database, if we are get having the incorrect roll number. Hmm. So what we will do, okay, there is one more thing we can do in this case. I'll return the integer from this update student method. I'll make it as int. ऐसा क्या गए, क्योंकि वो लेट में खाली हो रहा है ये प्रॉब्लम। वहाँ जो उस तरफ जिधर होटल था गए थे हम लोग खाना लेने, उधर भी तो रूम होगा ना उधर। हाँ उस पर। हम्म। और रुपए लेते हैं। So now our flow is coming as find by ID also. It means it will throw the exception from here itself. Okay, so same thing now we will implement as similar to the delete. So one thing is like if I comment this line, without doing that also we should be able to achieve that. Okay. So we can see like a student detail not found is coming. That is one approach like how we can do is first we'll go to the controller or flow will go to the controller here, and here I am going to update the record. So for update purpose, when we are running our query to the database, like I have run my query to the database, at last it is showing like 0 rows updated. So if there is no record, it will return as 0. And if there is one record, suppose I am going to modify my query to the database query, this one. Here I am taking as 2, where student roll number is 2. So in that case, if I update with the record which is present in database, so if you see their return type, like what database is returning, it is returning as 1. So when there is no record, it is returning 0, 0 rows updated, and when there is a record in table, it is returning 1. So I'm using the same feature in our Java code also. Like what I am doing, I am like collecting the number of student get updated. So I'll call my update call. If the number of student is equal to the 1, then it will like return successfully, like student updated successfully. If it equal to 0, then it will return the message as student detail not found. So same logic I'm implementing whatever it is doing from the database. So this is the one way like we can update it like. So I'm calling my update student call and I'm collecting that like how many number of. So now I will like again hit this.